Welcome to the wonder of God's presence at Lansing First Presbyterian Church. We invite you to sit back, relax, and take in a survey of just some of the relevant and exciting programs taking place in our church. We invite you to consider how vital our efforts to be faithful to our calling are, to our community, and to our own church family. And especially, we invite you to deepen your personal commitment and participation in this noble work that our God has given us to share. Just for an instant, consider what would be lost if our church were to suddenly disappear, not only to ourselves, but to the community at large. Where would all the neighborhood organizations who use our building meet? Who would feed our food pantry clients? Who would engage in the vital work of racial reconciliation and bridge building? For 175 years, God's glory has shined brightly in our church, providing a beacon to our community and to the neighborhood. Your financial support is critical. Your volunteer hours make all the difference. Your attendance at worship lifts up our church family and ensures that God's name is rightly praised in song and word and prayer. So, sit back and marvel at all that God is doing at Lansing First Presbyterian Church. And then, give deeply, give cheerfully. We are part of God's great and awesome plan of reconciliation and healing in the world. We need you. Before we begin, let's take a moment to pause and reflect upon all that has been lost in the last year and a half during this pandemic. The loved ones and friends, the hugs and kisses of grandchildren, of elderly parents, all lost over the long months of lockdown. Remember the painful conflict in our country over vaccines and masks. God has been with us, holding us together as a family, but it has not always been easy. Let's have a moment of silence, recognizing the grief and giving thanks for God's presence in our midst. Amen.
There's a grief that can't be spoken. There's a pain goes on and on. Empty chairs and empty tables. Now my friends are dead and gone. Oh, they talked of revolution. Here it was they lit the flame. Here they sang about tomorrow, and tomorrow never came. From the corner, in the corner, they could see a world reborn, and they chose with voices singing, and I can hear them now, the very words that they had sung became their last communion on the lonely barricade at dawn. Oh, my friends, forgive me that I live and you are gone. And there's a grief that can't be spoken, and there's a pain goes on and on. Phantom faces in the window, phantom shadows on the floor, empty chairs and empty tables, where my friends will meet no more. Oh, my friends, don't ask me what your sacrifice was for. Empty chairs and empty tables, where my friends will sing no more.
The Food Pantry is one of our church's most visible and vital outreach programs, providing food and personal care products to many people in the city of Lansing. Your pledges pay for this physical space within our church building and also help provide fresh food in this area of a food desert. You may not realize that residents in this neighborhood might have difficulty obtaining fresh food if they don't have their own transportation. Many of our members contribute time as well as treasure into the food bank.
At this table, everyone is welcome. At this table, everyone is seen. At this table, everybody matters. No one falls between. At this table, you can say whatever. At this table, you can speak your mind. At this table, everything's forgiven. There's enough for everyone. So come as you are. Remember that the door is always open. Yes, come as you are. this table there will be no judgment. At this table mercy has a seat. At this table where all sons and daughters, there's no place I'd rather be. So come as you are. Remember that the door is always open. Yes, come as you are. The perfect gift that you can bring is your heart. So come as you are. Come as you are. At this table, everyone is welcome. At this table, everybody cares. At this table, everybody matters. So come, pull up a chair.
There is no one who will be rejected at this table. All are welcome.
Your pledge to the annual budget provides funds for the mission committee, who support over 28 organizations locally, nationally and internationally. Pledge dollars provide local support to feed the hungry, educate refugees, teach nutrition, assist the incarcerated, and help them with re-entry. Nationally, our mission dollars rush to assist with disaster relief. International work is done in Cameroon, Uganda, Nicaragua, and Kenya. 7% of our budget is allocated for mission work. With more funding, we would like to do more. In fact, aiming for a third of our annual budget. First Press has shown leadership in racial equity and social justice issues for over 20 years. We are considered a leading church in matters of relationships building across racial divides in the Lansing area. Our conversations on race, programming, and our church social justice book read are important in educating us and being faithful to our mission regarding justice for all. Our joint worship services with Union Missionary Baptist Church help us to work alongside each other as we seek to broaden our work.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken vases and
Membership helps create opportunities for people to become more connected to the church. We send out birthday and Christmas cards to all people in the directory, host all church meals on special event days, hold gatherings, sponsor one-on-one events, and send out packages to groups. We also meet, greet, and connect visitors to the life of the congregation.
Youth Group for Middle High and Senior High explores their Christian faith through worship, fellowship, conversation, mission, and congregational care. The group meets weekly from September through May. In the summer, the goal is for the Middle High youth to attend a week-long camp, while the Senior High intends to revive a week-long mission trip. Every 3 years, the Senior High are able to join other Presbyterian youth from all over the country while attending Trinium at Purdue University in Indianapolis.
The Youth Education Committee is united in the desire to provide nurture for our children and young adults on their spiritual journeys and opportunities to reach out in love and caring to all of God's people. There is a place at First Presbyterian for each of us to be inspired, equipped, ignited, and engaged in God's work and world.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Children of God, we are the light of the world, shine through the darkness. Children of God, we are the light of the world, shining the light of God's love. Shine, shine bright, lift, lift it high. Shine, shine bright. Children
idea.
The mission of the Adult Education Committee is to provide adult learning opportunities for members and visitors in an atmosphere that is respectful of various viewpoints and encourages an expansion of an understanding of God, each other, and the world, so that our congregation may be challenged to become more faithful to God and caring toward others. They plan a wide variety of Sunday morning topics, including personal faith journeys, social justice, and spiritual growth, and bring in interesting speakers pertinent to issues of our time.
We are blessed with a beautiful building which needs maintenance, remodeling, and repair. We respond to emergencies and plan for the future of the space we faithfully occupy to carry out the many missions of the church.
All of my days are held in your hand.
Worship Committee during COVID has expanded the outreach of our worship services beyond the walls of the sanctuary and the chapel through the use of Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube. We can now invite people from around the world to be a part of our worship experience. We also have a permanent catalog of videos of our worship services.
Our main message to the congregation is that our staff enable us to do ministry in many forms. 64% of our annual budget staffs our church. In faith, we are retaining full staff in spite of the uncertain future we may face in 2022. Your increased support may allow us to continue our work as a vital congregation. As we step out in faith, we believe God is in control. You make our ministry and budget possible. Your generous pledge and timely response will greatly help us as we plan our programming for 2022.
Children of God,